Hi, howdy, hey there. I go by None Such Ned. I have a YouTube channel, such as it is. It's not much stuff on it, but I've been watching a couple of these 2022 vinyl tag videos and figured I can do that. It might be some fun. Turns out I keep on going over long, so I've recorded this a couple times. And this time I'm just going to dive right in. So number one, favorite album purchased in 2021. At the risk of going long, I have two. This is an EP, so it doesn't count, right? My Failed Songwriting Career by Andy Partridge. Finally, Andy Partridge uh, has some new stuff out, and more are coming. This is volume one. You may get a couple hints that I like XTC a little bit. I also really like the other number one favorite album. This is They Might Be Giants Flood. See, I haven't been collecting for a very long time. Not actively. I've always had albums. I'm a bit of a pack rat. But I've only actively been buying vinyl records for a couple years now. And I decided this year, I'm going to get some of my very favorite albums. And that's like, after XTC, it's They Might Be Giants. Those are my favorite bands. Another one, a little further down the list, happens to be the one that fits number two, album by the first person you saw live. In my case, first big name that I saw live, or big name that I care about. See, I lived in the boondocks of the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, and the only artists that got up there were like contemporary Christian artists. And I happened to see Mark Farner when he was going through a contemporary Christian music phase. That's Mark Farner from Grand Funk Railroad. I saw him a couple times, really. He showed up at a small little Latter-day Saints church where my friend attended. And so I met him in person. But I don't have any of his albums. I don't want any of his albums. But so, first big name artist, one of them, I might have actually seen They Might Be Giants first. But around the same time, the first solo artist, and the question says first person you saw live, first big name solo artist, other than Mark Farner, was Tori Amos. And she was touring for Under the Pink. Great album, great tour. Oh, yeah. I remember that one very, very well. I don't remember that They Might Be Giants the entire concert terribly well. So, also the one I remember the best. Although I've seen They Might Be Giants numerous other times as well. But I've seen them more often than any other band live. Number three, album by a duel. Let's get going and stop rambling. Run the Jewels, RTJ4, one of the best albums of 2020 by many people's accounts, except the Grammys. But Grammys suck. Oh, all right. Album in Shrink. Actually, I have a couple more in here, but I like the nice price on this Miles Davis Sketches of Spain on the air. This happens to be an old one. I can't remember, or an old purchase. I can't remember where I got it. Probably picked it up for $1 or somewhere, 25 cents from a thrift store at some point. I happen to have also bought some more jazz albums this year. The UK company Zavi puts out a starter pack of jazz, and I figured I don't have much jazz. I won't get any doubles. I actually did get that album again, but it's a much better copy, so I'm happy to have the replacement. All right. Concept album. Do you really need the numbers? Number 5. Concept album. Aesop Rock, the artist with the greatest vocabulary in recorded music. The Spirit World Field Guide. The concept is in the title. It's a field guide for traveling through the spirit world. It has this introduction about how dangerous it is, and then each song goes along the theme. Well, at least a little. There, is still topics he wants to cover, but the whole thing travels along that concept, as concept albums do. All right, number 6 was it? Album you've not played yet. So this year, with my STEMI money, I decided to get something for myself and got a year subscription for Vinyl Me Please. This is their most recent album release, Sugar Ross. I'm not attempting the actual title. I'm not a big enough fan to have heard it enough. But I've always wanted to get some Sugar Ross, and this is the one that they decided was the essential album. That was the other problem, Okay, I want to get a Sugar Rush. Which one do I pick up? I could pick up that one. I get it. It's their essential album of the month. I often, in this past year, switched out my essential album of the month, and that happens to be one from number 7, artist you discovered in 2021. It is Open Mike Eagle, Unapologetic Art Rap, which also has an interesting XTC connection. I mean, not many people other than XTC fanatics would notice this, but there's a song on the album called Mole in Your Ministry, which resembles their XTC's psychedelic side project song, Mole in the Ministry. I also have a couple other ones that kind of reminded me of XTC in a way. So I looked it up, and it turns out he actually is a XTC fan. He's also a really huge They Might Be Giants fan. I didn't know that. I didn't see that in the covers, but he's referenced both artists and his raps before, lyrically or the name. So, yeah. Great album. I mean, the reason wasn't because, this is related to XTC. No, I listened to the samples and thought this is good, and sure enough, he's someone I want to look out for. I'll pick up more albums eventually. For now, just streaming on the streaming services. Okay, live album number 8, representing where it came from. Nirvana, Unplugged in New York. Nirvana, I grew up in the 90s. I was 14 at the beginning of 1990 and 25 at the end of it, And there was this hugely significant purchase where I bought my previous favorite artist, Bryan Adams' album, Waking Up the Neighbors, with Nevermind. And, I sold the Bryan Adams album a couple months later, or not months, a couple years later, and I probably have bought 2 more versions of Nevermind ever since. On to the next one, number 9, album from a different continent. Actually, Wax Poetic, formed in New York, but the lead member of the group, I can't remember his name, I can't remember his name, is from Turkey, and other members who come in and out of the group are also from international locales, and this is a fantastic album. Record Store Day purchase, or 20th anniversary, very first time on vinyl release. It's great. First commercially recorded appearance by Norah Jones. Who of course is also has our international connections. I hope they put out New Blue sessions as well. none of their early stuff. I'm not sure if even their more recent stuff has been on vinyl. So it fits it perfectly. It sounds fantastic. It just fills the room. It's oh, I didn't really explain what type of music it is. It's a little weird. So it's kind of like trip hop, but they call it acid jazz. So it's electronica, but it has less of a hip hop uh, focus and more of a jazzy feel. It's, but you know, it runs the gamut. World music, jazz, electronica. I highly recommend it. I was so disappointed when I was looking through record store day haul videos and not seeing anyone. There's one person. Months later, I found one person who mentioned it. Like, yay! Someone noticed it. Because it had a small print run, and they're not terribly well known, but they should be better known. All right, number 10. A album with a price sticker on it, and I combined this with with the category for best of, because this is best of the Statler Brothers, Country Music Association Best Vocal Group, 5th consecutive year. But I grew up with this album. My parents really love Statler Brothers. They love vocal music more than country. My mother likes country a bit more, but it's always about the singing. With my parents, the quality of the voices, and yeah, you don't need another album other than this version of the best of the Statler Brothers, in my opinion. It's got all the early great ones, you know, Flowers on the Wall, Bed of Roses, the sappy sentimental stuff, Whatever Happened to Randolph Scott, and oh yeah, but I didn't actually. No one I know paid the $7.29 that's listed on here. I actually found it on the side of the road in a box waiting for the trash, but it's in great condition, so no complaints. I always had it on my cassette, or my parents had it on cassette, and I listened to it in that way. Number 11, punk or new wave album. It's more noise rock, but this is If I Had a Hi-Fi. They're Not a Surf EP +3, so it's a kind of an album length EP, and it's tragically cheap to buy, and I think it's their most cohesive album. It rocks so hard. More people gotta listen to If I Had a Hi-Fi. It's cheap, it's great, go get it. Number 12 is Boxset. Did I mention? Yeah, so both of those, I got the Statler Brothers album on the side of the road in Milwaukee when I was living in Milwaukee. If I Had a Hi-Fi, are a Milwaukee band. But now I live in Gainesville, Florida, and in Gainesville, Florida, they have the Friends of the Library sale, and they hold it twice a year, and you can get some great stuff. So this is a complete Buddy Holly collection. I'm sure there are even more complete collections these days, but this is quality stuff too. You know, I've never bothered picking up any Buddy Holly albums before, but everyone knows of them, and now I have everything, right? Just about. Okay. Album with a sports theme. I bet I'm not unique on this choice at all. So here you go. Huey Lewis and the News, sports. This is another one that I grew up with and really loved as a kid, and that's still a good album. Still a really good album, so I picked it up. In fact, I accidentally picked it up twice because I forgot I had already bought it. But yeah, Huey Lewis. Where are we? Yeah, 14, jazz album. One of the things I did last year or earlier, I joined the record subscription company Loved Again Media, And if you look on my channel, I have a bunch of reviews and unboxing videos for them. In short, they're good, but they screw up occasionally. This happens to be one of their good selections. I really love this album, the original Drum Battle, Gene Krupa and Buddy Rich. Quality stuff made me want to get more jazz albums. That's why I picked, one of those reasons I picked up the Zavi set. And I mean, I had some, obviously. That's not actually the only Miles Davis album. In fact, because I combined one of the lists and I got rid of, I combined one category. Did I even mention that in this version of the video? I've recorded this before, I think I mentioned. So yeah, best of and with a price sticker was one category. I put a couple new ones from another list onto this one. So one of them is most expensive, and that happens to be Miles Davis, the ultra high quality recording of Kind of Blue. I already have Kind of Blue, of course, but I kind of bought this as a investment. I mean, I really want to hear it, but I'm a little afraid to right now because I'm thinking maybe I should just really dive in and get the new get a new stylus. The album, I have the Audio-Technica LP120, so it's a good record, not top of the line, but I've been playing it for a couple of years, and early on I probably wasn't taking care of the stylus as well as I could. I didn't have stylus cleaner. I didn't. So I'm thinking maybe I should, before putting this on, I should probably be careful about it, because I don't want to ruin it. It's limited edition. It's the most expensive album I've gotten, only $100, which isn't much for any true vinyl community collectors. But as I said, I'm new to this, and getting things like albums from Loved Again Media, which is just, these are thrift store finds. And here's one of the thrift store finds where they screwed up. There was this one month where they just screwed up, and they gave me this album, which fits the category album with at least 8 people on the jacket. It's a compilation. They're not actually the artists. It's just this cool pop art stuff. I really love the cover. I don't have a problem with that. But, this is one of these really cheapo TV specials. I didn't ask for any compilations. You get to choose what types of albums you get, and this is not one of them. In fact, I had an entire month where nothing fit any of the categories I asked for, or barely the decade choices. It's just really strange. So yeah, they screwed it up as a selection, and also I don't have to be careful with this thing because it is unplayable. It's scratched up so badly. It's got these horrible stains on it. I have no idea how this got through and put into a package. They're supposed to be sending their best stuff, and mostly they send really good stuff. As I said, occasionally they screw up. Learning curve for them, I think. And yeah, this was a learning failure. Okay. Soundtrack, yeah, number 17. I forget if I mentioned the numbers on everyone. Anyway, I don't think anyone else chose this. No great album either. I just saw it, and I still get a kick out of looking at it. Just Buck Rogers in the 25th century. Yeah, I watched this when I was a kid, and so it gives you a little nostalgia. It's nothing great, but yeah. Still get a kick out of it. All right. Yeah, another one I took from another list because I removed the choice about freebies that you got from the vinyl community because I haven't been a part of the vinyl community, so I don't get any freebies from it. So I replaced one category with this favorite vinyl dig, number 18. And I went back in time for this one, back when I was a teenager and first collecting. Ramada Inn was holding a record store, and you know, you're a kid, you like comedy. I had a specialty of buying comedy albums because I didn't have great record players when I was a kid, but you know, you can't screw up comedy. So I love comedy. I love the edgy stuff. You know, love all the grunge music, and they're all into drugs and all that. So I got a big old kick out of finding this. Obviously, not the most rare thing in the world. It does have the wrapping paper in it, which is a little rarer. Makes it a bit of a collector's edition or a collector's item. But yeah, that's kid stuff. I still love the album. It's yeah, they put out great comedy albums. I have almost all of their albums. I probably have all of their albums except maybe one of the later soundtracks, you know. Okay. Almost done. Album with no writing on the cover. Uh, I don't have a huge collection, and so this is the only one I could find that truly had no writing on the artwork, nothing on the spine. And it's Dark Side of the Moon. This is the original one, my original copy that I got when, you know, around the same time as Big Bamboo there. It's got a $2 sticker. Even in the condition this is in with like mouse chew marks on it. You can't get this album for $2 anywhere, but you could back then because no one was buying vinyl. And I listened to this early in the year, and it still sounds great. It's one of the best recorded albums ever with great songs. So, yeah. Coincidentally, though, I joined another vinyl subscription service, and that's Amazon's Golden Era service, where they send you a random classic album. And yeah, so I got another copy of it. The Bernie Grundman company. I'm not sure if he personally worked on it. Excuse me. But I'm not sad that I got another copy because it sounds even better than the other one. It's just got no noise on it. Sounds perfect, right? No complaints at all. So writing on the cover, number 20, 7-inch single. Let's go back to the XTC connection. And, you know, XTC put out fantastic single art on their album, on their singles. So this is from This World Over. Have the push once because it is the nuclear Holocaust single. You know, and it came with these post-apocalyptic greetings from London and well, I can't even see, from Tokyo, Berlin, New York. They're all the same because everything looks the same after a nuclear holocaust. Very subtle, but fantastic art in almost all of the XTC singles. That's something you can collect. All right. So, number 21, colored vinyl. Now, this is kind of funny. This is another failure on Loved Again Media. Again, they gave me a lot of good stuff, but after I put out the review for their third month where they screwed everything up, they tried to make it up by listening to something I said. They kind of misconstrued it, though. I was talking about Frank Sinatra, saying, "Oh, that's a good choice," but I meant generally, and I actually said I don't really like Frank Sinatra, but it's a good choice, a good choice that you would put through this sort of club. So they kept on sending me Frank Sinatra. and they sent me Tommy Dorsey and his orchestra featuring Frank Sinatra, and or that's what you think it is. This is one of the cases. There was at least one other one where they sent me the wrong album inside. But I find the album inside also fascinating. It's a tribute to Tommy Dorsey. It's also scratched up, probably unplayable, but it's yeah, a tribute to Tommy Dorsey. So this had to be from the 50s, but look at this colored vinyl. It's this beautiful, you know, amber swirl pattern. Almost makes me wonder if vinyl was truly uncolored, if this might be what it is. But yeah, I love the look of it, and it comes with a little story, so I included that in it. I have plenty of colored vinyl. Everyone does these days. And final one, number 22, album from 1982. And this happens to be the album I've had longest, most consecutively in my collection since 1982, when my brothers would have bought it, and then eventually showed up in my collection. And it's in the kind of condition you would expect from being in the collection of a 9-year-old or whatever. Whenever I got it, it's completely beat up. The sleeve inside is just in tatters, but it's a great album. I really should buy another copy of this on vinyl and business as usual. Worthy of the 1982, and I think it's a good one to finish this list. 27 minutes this turned out to be. As I said, I tried to do this other times, and they came out longer than this. I think this will be good. 27 minutes. You don't have to watch it all. So that's my video. I'm sticking to it. Had fun. Just an excuse to talk about music. Bye now.